And one of the big problems we've been seeing, and this is both in Kenya here, but also globally, is that there are not enough trained developers for the amount of software development work that there is. Just to give you some numbers on that, in Europe, we have a vacancy of about 300,000 to 500,000 IT jobs. So those are current jobs that cannot be filled because there are no people that are trained to the level where they can do those jobs. In the US, they're talking, depending on which figures you follow, but it can go up to 1 million vacancies. Here in Kenya also we have the same problem. A study by the IFC has actually shown that in 2019 there were about 6.1 million tech-enabled jobs, okay? So we needed about 6.1 million people to have these tech skills to contribute to the local economy. By 2030, estimates are showing that that number will, in Kenya alone, go up to 17 million already. And that represents, by then, about 50 to 55% of the market. So there's a huge need for these tech skills. And from our background as Elewa, building these large-scale continuous professional development programs, we saw a good fit to actually also start looking into how can we develop scalable training programs for tech education. And we started this journey, and Esther was actually one of the first ones to start with us in August 2020 with an apprenticeship program. So where we basically took, and still are doing batches, we take in batches of very talented youth. And in 1 to 2 years, depending on how fast they grow, because it's a very personalized on-the-job training program, it's an apprenticeship, we build them up from a junior first entry into the software development space to medium or senior level, depending on who you ask, because it's also a space, the tech space is also something where these terms are a bit vague, but we bring them up to international standards. And while they are contributing on this apprenticeship, they're actually contributing on startups all across the world.
Our programs are designed to ensure inclusive and equitable education that targets to improve access, retention, and transition from one level to another. So now to go into how and why we are partnering with iTalanta, with Elewa through the iTalanta project. First, I'd like to say that the iTalanta project is a very unique model, and that is providing or offering learners from Kakuma refugee camp, the Kakuma integrated settlement, and also the surrounding host communities, alternative pathways to generate income. And I'd say this resonates very well with the current plans to ensure that both refugees and the host communities work together towards social and economic development in Turkana County, because Kakuma refugee camp is in Turkana County, so that is very key. And also, just to mention that with this partnership, it is actually expanding and diversifying education opportunities for refugees and also host communities, because the demand for education in the refugee camps is very high, especially tertiary education, yet there are very, very limited opportunities. So I believe this partnership is solving a solution, or closing the gap when it comes to providing opportunities and also providing quality education and training to refugees. And also what is very interesting is the approach or the model that Elewa is using, leveraging on ICT, because ICT is a creative way of solving emerging education challenges, because we are in a very rapidly dynamic and globalized world at the moment. And then, of course, we know that digital literacy prepares learners for a world of today and tomorrow. So that is very key, because even as an organization, we're trying to align ourselves with the emerging and developing needs in technology, because education is really advancing. And so for us, ICT is very key, and we're trying to align ourselves and also adapt strategies that leverage on ICT to deliver education and training.
I joined the iTalanta program in August 2020. And since then, I'm pleased to say that the progress has been very good. I have learned quite a lot, and I'm looking forward to learning even more, because I believe the best is yet to come. In terms of progress, it's a pleasure to see how far iTalanta has come, because from the time I joined compared to now, we're even more students, more learners joining the program, more apprentices, and even the content of what is being delivered to the learners is, I'd like to say that it's actually improved as well.